Welcome to Timothy Haggerty on YouTube.com. Please subscribe, please view. Any comments, suggestions, I'd like to hear them. I'm going to be doing episode 8 of my vacation talk. I'm going to be playing this video.
I was just doing a video of Warner Center. Just leaving Chris.
Okay, here we go. We left off. It was in the spring of 2004. So I'm going to be talking about, coming up first, is the summer of 2004. Now in the summer of 2004, when I left off, I started talking when I went back to school. We've been starting to do a play. And we were originally supposed to do a play that I written. Dealing with King and Queen, based on that Game of Thrones kind of setting play, but we didn't do that. Instead, we did a wrestling play, and we started back in June of 2004, and we practiced that all the way to August 2004, and throughout that play, and we did it on August 18th, 2004. It was a Wednesday, and that was my last night there. And the next day, on August 19th, I left. My graduation was August 20th, 2004. But I wanted to actually leave ahead of time because I had a feeling I had a reunion that weekend, and it'd probably be the last time I see my two grand aunts. So, but back to the play. So we did this play, wrestling play based on storyline, wrestling, Broadway play kind of concept, and it was a lot of enjoyment. It's actually on my YouTube channel. It's under the playlist for specials. So if you want to check that out, you can. My family reunion's on there from that weekend, and my wrestling show that was about 2 hours and 35 minutes, and it's in the 2 different sections on my playlist, and that was a lot of fun, a lot of great memories. It was just very enjoyable, and I remember that the summer we got to take some road trips. We went to a baseball game over to Altoona. It was Harrisburg versus Altoona. So we took a road trip over there and saw that baseball game. We got to eat in a certain section. Then we got to go and watch the baseball game. And I walked around a lot of Johnstown and stuff like that throughout the summer, and hang out with some friends and go see some live bands back in the day, and it was very cool, and got to hang out with some people. I remember our last week, a bunch of my friends and me got together, and we went over to went to Pizza Hut and had some pizza for like a goodbye party, and it was very enjoyable. And then I guess we all went to see Spider-Man at that $10 theater, and where you got to go to the movie for $10. Small popcorn, small nacho, a drink, a burger. They have a candle right by there, so it was nice. I remember that summer through, it was like, go back to April 1st, 2004, through the summer. I remember Brandy, we hanged out and stuff, and talk more detail about that in a different thing. But But basically, it was a nice summer, just all hanging out and doing some schooling and education, and just meeting new people and learning more knowledge and understanding and just seeing where life takes us. So, and then I went to the class reunion, and it was like, I think it was like August 21st or 22nd in 2004, and my two great aunts were there. It was a small little reunion. Most of my family wasn't there from my mom's side, and it was the last time they actually was at a reunion. And I have that small video that I did on my special, on my playlist. And then I remember talking about Vacation Talk. It was in October. It was like a graduation gift for me, basically, for getting a certificate in baking. And I did get it was like a B plus in baking. Business, I got an A minus. Nutrition, I got an A plus. So I did do those classes, and I think I did some other classes. But I went to Samuel, Massachusetts, and it was called Sherrington Bus Service. And on Sherrington Bus Service, we drove all the way up from, I caught on there right down in Athens, where the old Ames used to be, in Athens, Pennsylvania. We drove all the way through Towanda, through Wysox, all the way to Waulusing, Pennsylvania. And we were going the direction over to, we had a stop over in New Hampshire. We got to go out for about 15-20 minutes. He got to show us something, and it was cool. Some beautiful trees. It was that fall kind of harvest season time, and you could see the leaf change right off the trees and stuff. It was amazing. And then we were on our way up to Salem, Massachusetts. We stayed, I think, 20 minutes outside of Salem, Massachusetts, and we stayed at what was it called? The Holiday Express Inn or something like that, hotel. And they had a swimming pool and all that stuff. So we went through Salem, Massachusetts, and we got to go to the witch house. And it was weird because they played the auto in this house in Russian, so we actually got to hear it all in Russian, and then they played it in English. Something they don't usually make a mistake like that, but we got to hear it in a different language than their own language. So that was interesting to see out that place. And we actually went to the Salem witch trial thing. And we saw it by them walking outside, like the play, going into the courtroom. And then we are all the judges, and we all said not guilty. So they didn't get executed that year in 2004. And we went to the big museum in Salem, Massachusetts. I've seen a lot of different artifacts from different countries. It's crossed my mind for a minute. South America, Asia, Africa, United States, and all the surrounding areas. But it was really nice. We didn't see the whole everything in the museum, but we got to see a good amount of percentage. And then we went to this place where we went to eat, and we had I had some kind of pasta thing. And then we walked through the Pocahontas. In that movie Pocahontas, we got to walk through the cemetery, so that was pretty amazing as well too. and we got to see the festival and the streets and stuff like that, and check out some stores and all that. And it was a weekend thing, just a 3-day thing, and we got to just check out Salem, Massachusetts. Well, we did actually see where they had the Tea Party. The boat is right in Salem, Massachusetts. Now, Salem, Massachusetts is about 30 minutes from Boston. So, and going back to my school thing for a second, a little bit backtracking. I did have the opportunity to get into this one school, but I would have to. I didn't have the funding at that time to do that kind of school that far away. But I could have gone to Dover, New Hampshire. That's at 30 minutes from Boston, so it pretty much would be about an hour from Salem, Massachusetts. But I went to the Johnstown thing, Pennsylvania. And we had a good time, and it was a nice ride back and stuff. We got back pretty late. But it was cool because we got to actually be there on Halloween. So that was a nice experience. I usually would just go on church and bus services to day trips to Atlantic City. I actually did a weekend trip, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then I know in November, I actually went in 2004. I went to my first pay-per-view, WWE wrestling pay-per-view. I went to the Survivor Series in Cleveland, Ohio. So I went down to Cleveland, Ohio, to see the Survivor Series. It was a great event. I enjoyed it very much. Survivor Series 2004. Got to walk around Cleveland a little bit and check out the area. And before that, I actually was staying up with my friends and Justin. What was it? Pittsburgh. Yeah, I got to go to Pittsburgh, so I got to hang out with Justin as well. And, I had many times going through Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He lives in Carnegie, and I remember at that time I didn't really see Pittsburgh. I saw Carnegie, and we went to the mall. We went to go watch some movies together, for a walk. Just talk, hang out, and it was basically a 2-3 day thing, and we got to hang out a little bit and stuff, and just got to hang out with his family and all that. So that was cool. And then I remember I was on a Discovery Pass 30 days in 2004 around Christmas time, and so I was at Justin's around I think it was around my birthday time, yeah, in 2004 in Pittsburgh. I think it was that year. It was a year in Pittsburgh when we went to go see the movie Blade. It was on my birthday. Triple H, the wrestler, actually played in that movie. I think it was like the third Blade movie. And then Christmas of 2004, I actually was, my Uncle Mike was had things in Diane's parents' garage because they were moving into their new home in Texas. So I helped them out with that kind of stuff. And I was staying with my cousin Ryan at the time. And I was back in the springtime. And we got to have a nice Christmas meal. I remember Diane's mom, she made the best enchiladas. Oh, I love the enchiladas. We had that a day before Christmas, and it was delicious. Great Mexican food. we got to go to Los Lopos. That's kind of a fast food place, but it's in San Antonio, Texas, and it's very delicious. We plus I got to hang out with my cousin Michael, my cousin KJ, Tina, Joe, Diane, Uncle Mike, Ryan. You know, it was great just to hang out and have our first Christmas together. So that was some interesting moments. And I got my Uncle Mike showed me around San Antonio, Texas. So that was pretty cool. Yeah, and I remember I went to the Sam's Burger. It's not that far from the downtown area, and we went over there, and the initials, the stamp on the top of the bun, Sam's. They had music outside, and they had those great, nice, big burgers. French fries. I think you can have curly fries or French fries. And we went to the Riverwalk, and well, before we went to Sam's, we went to the Riverwalk, and they were singing Christmas carols on the Riverwalk water on that boat, and all the restaurants were kind of like packed stuff. So we went over to Sam's and stuff, and we got to check out Pat O'Brien's. They actually have live bands there. You can sit down, have a drink, or eat something and listen to the live bands and stuff. I actually seen where we have went to a place where they had pianos and sing on the pianos and sing back and forth. But it was nice, you know, just do some things around that area. Of course, I went to some movies. I remember they had this $1.50 theater, you know, a little more outward of San Antonio. But there were like movies that were already out in the theater for 2-3 months. And I just had a nice Christmas with my family. We all joked around, had fun, and it was nice just to be with them. I know when I left, you know, I've gone through many different cities and states. There's no doubt on that. I do know after I left, I went all the way from San Antonio to all the way to El Paso. I had a layover in El Paso, Texas, and they were telling us this is the border from where you go into Mexico. The bus driver from the Greyhound, and they were talking about the how we're connected to the border. I had an 8-hour layover in El Paso from midnight to 8 in the morning. Yeah, it's not a whole lot to do in that bus station. It was late at night. And then I was, from there, I went all the way to Las Vegas. So I had a layover in Las Vegas, so I was in the old part strip of Vegas. So right over there was a casino. It was called the Nugget. And I just, back then you have these coins you could just put in the machine, and you put a coin in and I won $100, 25 cents. So that was pretty cool. Got back on the bus, and then I actually went all the way to San Diego, and couldn't get a hold of my, I guess he wasn't around at the time, my foster brother Steve. So I walked around San Diego. I checked out San Diego. Had a good time. I was in San Diego for about 6 hours, and then that was a good moment. And then I got on the bus, and I from there went all the way back up to Sacramento, and I wasn't thinking I could call my Uncle Mike. He lived in Sacramento at the time. But I found this place right by the bus station, kind of like the hotels like from the movie Big. So it was an interesting experience because I'd never been in a place like that. So when I was there, I went out and celebrated New Year's, but I had somebody knock on my room about 2 in the morning, and I got to celebrate with a bunch of people New Year's. So that was pretty cool. And interesting time. And then I went from Sacramento, and I got to walk around a little bit of Sacramento, and it had this like ice skating area, really nice. And so New Year's Day is not really anything really open per se, and I went down to Reno, through Reno, Nevada, and along the way to Reno, we stopped off to a McDonald's. They had the roads were so icy. It was that big snowstorm in 2004. We got to get some McDonald's, got on, and we were on our way. And from there, from Reno, I was on my way back home from Reno, Nevada. So that was a very interesting time, and great trips. Gone through, met a lot of different people. Just basically doing certain highlights because a lot of detail, and it was just a good Christmas, New Year's vacation. One of my longest trips I ever had. And then in 2015, I didn't really go anywhere, but I actually did in 2015. I did go to a SmackDown show in Elmira, New York. So that was pretty cool. It was like a house show. And then when we get into 2006, will be episode 9. Episode 9 will be in the year 2006 for the spring, but I am going to talk the beginning part. I went to Elmira, New York to see the ECW show. And it was cool because we're waiting outside, and a few of us guys waiting actually got to talk to Boss Mahoney. We talked to him for about maybe 45 minutes. Very talkable person, and we were talking about different stuff, and it was very nice. And we got to see the ECW event. And I remember in 2006, in January, I took a trip up to Albany, New York. And when I got to Albany, I went directly to I had about 2-3 hours, and then I went to the wrestling event. And I got to see Coach. When I was walking in the stadium, Coach there, Maria, and that was a cool. I got to see the Elimination Chamber. It's when Edge cashed in his Money in the Bank. When the first time he won the Money in the Bank, and he cashed it in. So, and I think that was when Ric Flair fought Edge that show too I think it was for the Intercontinental title. But it was in Albany, New York, and then I took the bus home and came home. But yeah, in episode 9, I'm going to be talking about the spring of 2006. There's going to be a lot of details in that spring of 2006. It was a 60-day Discovery Pass, the biggest one yet, and I did a lot of different things. So episode 9 is basically going to be spring vacation. So that's what I'll be doing next time. I do have already on my playlist, I got the New Orleans thing done. I got the Grand Canyon thing done. I got up to Pennsylvania, New York video 6 all done. I only have like 5 clips of Pennsylvania video 7. I'm going to work on that. And tomorrow I am actually going to be working on my Bible study playlist, another one. And then Friday I'll be working on my Bible study class. So with Bible study class on Friday, I'll be getting into Romans chapter 8 through 12. So, but I hope you all have a terrific day. And next week, I will do episode 9. So, I'll catch you later. Bye.